In this video, we will be talking about the best metal albums of September. This is part 2, so I will be covering releases from the 15th to the 30th. So like I always do, at first I'm going to cover just the more popular releases, the ones that I did full reviews for, and then I will go through maybe another like 7 more like underground bands. So let's get right into it. The first one was Clutch Sunrise on Slaughter Beach. This is just an excellent album. It's not a long album. It's kind of a short, just 30 minutes long, but it's just solid. Every song is great. This is probably like one of the best Clutch albums. If you've never listened to Clutch, definitely check out this album. This is really a good starting point. Just very solid album. Next is The Devil Wears Prada with Color Decay. This one was pretty good. They're kind of like going into more of like a commercial direction, I guess. They're adding a lot more melody into their songs. A lot more, moving into more of like a 3 Days Grace kind of direction, but still brutal, still some metalcore here, so that one's pretty good. Next is Stratovarius with Survive. This is a power metal band, and one I'm also kind of new to, but this is a really good album. I know I've talked to a lot of other fans who have been listening to Stratovarius over the years, and they have said that this album is a lot better than a few of the more recent albums. So definitely, if you like power metal, check out Stratovarius. Then Venom Incorporated with There's Only Black. This is like a spin-off band of the original like Venom. It's decent. It's kind of like thrashy, speed metal, that type of metal. You know, it's heavy. It's very dark and demonic and that type of stuff. I thought it was decent. So if you like, the original band Venom, you'll probably like this. Next, Slipknot, The End So Far. This is one of the most divisive albums of the year. I know some people hate it, some people love it. Some people just like it very much. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very good. They do a lot of different stuff. It's kind of like a Slipknot greatest hits, where they kind of do some stuff from Iowa, they do some stuff from Volume 3, and they experiment a lot. So I liked it a lot. And the last one I'll talk about very quickly is Autopsy with Morbidity, Triumphant. This is a band that they were one of the original death metal bands, from back in the early or late 80s, early 90s. And it's a band that they kind of do like death doom. I think this album in particular is maybe like mostly death with a little bit of doom, but it could be like maybe like a 50-50 kind of balance. But anyway, if you like old school death metal, definitely check that out. Alright, so now let's talk about the other bands. First one, Sumerlands, DreamKiller. This is a band, I've never heard of them, but they are just really good. They're just heavy metal. I heard about this band from many different channels. Metal Meltdown, Fire Burns Within, and Hammerheart Metal Reviews. They all talked about this album, and they gave it like just really good praise. So if you like just old school metal, like Iron Maiden, Queensryche, this is the type of band that you got to check it out. It's just the songs are really well written. They're upbeat. Lyrics are kind of like fantasy oriented. Lots of classic heavy metal guitar riffs. Those riffs, power chords. Songs that they're not really super fast. They're not really slow. Really good pacing to the songs, and the vocals are really super melodic. So really good album. The songs I like: Twilight Points Its Way, Heavens Above, Night Ride. That's a good one. And definitely check out Sumerlands with DreamKiller. Next is a band called Trial, Feed the Fire. This is a band I've never heard of. I found out about them through Hammerheart Metal Reviews. Another one, a mixture of like, I guess, heavy and power metal. For me, they gave me vibes of like Blind Guardian and Halloween, like that type of sound. The songs are just very upbeat, kind of like that like whole fantasy going into battle, that type of stuff. Lots of melodic riffs, sometimes fast riffs. They do a lot of that like fast playing, that like tremolo picking. It's like very, the pacing of the songs is kind of very fast, energetic, and upbeat. Vocals, kind of like the singer has like a higher range, so that's why I kind of compare them more to like Halloween, that type of band. But definitely check it out. They're an underground band. Pretty much no one else is talking about them besides Hammerheart, so I decided to talk about them. So next, this is a fun album, Electric Callboy with TEKKNO. It's basically those like '90s European dance techno bands. I think of Ace of Base. That was the band that comes to mind. Mixed with like very super heavy like metalcore, and they make it work. This is such a great album. It's just so fun. It's just like you have such a good time listening to this, and it's like you got the opening track "Pump It." That's kind of like it has this music video like one of those old '80s like aerobics videos, like those like Richard Simmons fitness videos. It's really fun, just heavy riffs and those like synth sounds, the heavy bass beat, and then the vocals have those like clean singing and then like those harsh metalcore vocals. Pump It's a great song. Fuckboy featuring Conquer Divide. It's kind of like modern pop and like metalcore. I think it's like making fun of Machine Gun Kelly. But it's a fun song, and it has these like female vocals. It says featuring Conquer Divide. I'm not really sure who that is, but it's very fun. And another song I like called Hurricane. It's European pop and like deathcore. It's like it starts out like a Europop song, then in the last part it's like Lorna Shore deathcore. Such a fun song, and the song is in German. Actually, this band is a German band, so it's lyrics in German and it's like synth pop going into deathcore. This is probably one of the best albums out there, and I didn't review it. I kind of wish I did, but I didn't get a chance to review it. So this is definitely one of my favorites. Next is Gaerea, Mirage. It's a black metal band. I don't really know how to pronounce it well, but one of those bands where it's very atmospheric and then it gets like very like brutal, and they kind of like go back and forth between like those two things. So if you like that type of stuff, that's basically what you get. You get some of those like clean or acoustic guitars, and some parts are very these like very dreamy, atmospheric, and then it gets like super heavy like machine gun riffing, and these like super fast drum beats. Kind of sounds like a jackhammer. Just really good. I mean, it's good if you like black metal. You get these like quiet, whispery vocals and these harsh vocals, so they kind of go back and forth. Good songs: Memoir, Arson, Ebb. So if you like black metal, definitely check this out. Next band, I've discovered them through the Fire Burns Within channel called Fans of the Dark with Suburbia. It's just a fun, traditional heavy metal band. So they talk a lot about like horror stuff, and it's just very fun. So, for example, they have a song called Night of the Living Dead. They have Sick, 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 Fright Night. Those are just very fun songs. This reminds me of a lot of 80s metal bands, a little bit of like classic Iron Maiden. Very fun and kind of like scary. This is like a perfect like Halloween album. They're talking about like horror movies and stuff. Lots of like galloping guitars, power chords, nice riffs, thick bass sounds, kind of like mid-paced songs. Vocals are very melodic. So this is a really good band. You got to check them out. Fans of the Dark with Suburbia. Next, I have Terraphobia with Rise. So this is a band I discovered through Heavy Metal Philosophy. He does his top 5 of the week. I think he releases it on Friday or Saturday. And it's kind of like a combination of thrash and death. It's it's just very heavy. It's heavy thrash. Sometimes they do a little bit of like old school thrash. So you hear a little bit of like early Metallica influence. Some of the songs, just lots of heavy riffs, some tremolo picking, some melodic leads, lots of guitars in this. The songs are mostly very like fast paced, and you do get like a little hints of like symphonic metal here and there, but they're very like subdued, and these vocals are just very like harsh, almost like death metal vocals. So if you like heavy extreme metal, check that out. And one more before I end this: Monastr with On Your Knees. Another one I discovered through a Heavy Metal Philosophy. This is like heavy post-metal, death doom, that type of stuff. It's just very dark, heavy, atmospheric at times. Lots of like slow riffs, heavy riffs. They use some clean guitars, some distorted guitars. Just the beat is mostly like slow and heavy, and these like very harsh vocals. It's kind of like, I guess, Cult of Luna. I guess that kind of might be something that reminded me of it. Good songs: On Your Knees, Over the Forest, A New Beginning. So definitely check it out if you like something different, something very heavy and like just very thick and just massive. I guess that's the only adjective I could think of this. So that is all. Thanks for watching. Check it out. I have a couple more new reviews. Tankers and Drowning Pool. I'm gonna get those done. And I got the new Alice Cooper live album. I got that on Amazon. I posted a picture on my community tab. And that is all. Thanks for watching. See you in the next